Hello everybody, welcome to Antebellum Restoration Part 3.
Well, here we are. We're at installment number 3 on Antebellum Restoration, and this time we're actually just going to show you some before areas, some parts around the structure that are really going to need some serious renovation and restoration, and we're also going to show you some stuff about how the bricks were made and the different profiles and styles of the brick. And I think it's going to be interesting, and hopefully we're going to be able to move on from here and really start showing you what it looks like as the finished product comes together. What we're going to do is show some before and after areas of the house, particularly where the Portland cement was laid in over the other stuff. We're going to show what it looks like once we take it out and put the new mortar in. And there's about 3 or 4 areas particularly where I think there will be a huge difference in the look. One of them is underneath the window as you go in the side door. It's almost completely filled in with Portland. That's going to be obvious. There's going to be a nice window framing it there, and you'll be able to see the difference. Another area is over right beside to the right of the chimney on the west side of the house. There's 2 areas there. That'll be an area above the second story window, which shows some movement on the chimney actually, and we're going to have to do some underpinning on the chimney because it's settling and it's actually trying to pull some of the bricks away from the house. And also underneath that on the first story, we're going to show where they tried to fill that in. Rather than stabilize it, they just hopefully were going to fill it in and hope it didn't move anymore. And then the back side of the house, where the kitchen chimney is, underneath the eave of the house, you'll see where the mortar has completely been removed, probably by weathering. I don't think there was a gutter on here for many, many years, and consequently it ran off the house and underneath and pulled some of the mortar out of there. We're going to show that before and after, and also where they tried to sort of patch the top of that chimney. They actually smeared mortar over the bricks entirely, and we're going to show what it looks like once we remove the mortar from that area. So it's going to be some very specific areas we'll work on, and hopefully we'll be able to show the difference between what was done and the problems and what the finished product is going to be. What I was a little bit concerned about was certain areas that we're going to have to replace some bricks. I didn't want to have something in there that really stood out, and luckily behind one of the sheds here we found some of the old bricks, the original bricks, in a pile here, and we're going to be able to sift through those, to cull through them if you will, find some ones that we can use. Now specifically I wanted to show you 3 bricks. One, this is the general brick they use for the construction of the house. You can see it's got a recessed area, so when you turn it up the mortar sits on top of that and holds it in place. Right there you're holding I'm holding in my hand something that was made in probably 1835, and I don't know exactly the composition of it. I'm going to try to find out, but it seems to have some kind of cinders or something into it that makes it a very, very hard brick. You can grind on it and it won't take the surface down much, which really helps when you're trying to get the old Portland cement off of it. So that one. There's also a smaller version of that. It looks to be about 7 inches long and a little bit more narrow, but it's got the same recess for the mortar bed. And I found that one in here too, so there's at least 2 styles of the regular field brick. This is really an interesting brick because, as you can see, it's got a convex surface here, and there's a matching one actually that was cut out from the other side of it that's concave, and once you flip that around, as you'll see at the top of the house, we're going to go over there in just a minute, you'll see where they created a brick soffit with these 2 bricks, the convex and then the concave right underneath it, and it just makes for a beautiful detail, and we'll go over and show you a picture of that, a video of that, because it's the way they did most of the old portion of the house rather than a wood soffit, which of course is subject to decay and rot. I only found one of these. I haven't really sifted through this entire thing. I'd like to find another one, the convex one. The concave one. I'd really like to find that somewhere, and maybe we'll be lucky enough to find one. We're also going to try to find the clay pit, which is somewhere on the property, that they use to dig out the clay and turn it into the bricks. And I understand that it is somewhere on the property, and we're going to do a little investigation, a little adventure trip, and see if we can round that up. Okay, this is the soffit detail, the brick soffit detail I was talking about earlier. You can see on the top one how there's a convex brick, and then the mate of that in the mold below it is the concave brick, and when you put those 2 together they stand out. Looks to be about 5 or 6 inches, and it creates a brick soffit, once again eliminating any weathering or any damage that might be occurred by having a wood soffit up there. So it's great detail, and just a wonderful way to finish off the side of the house. It looks incredible. I want to show this side of the house with the sun on the chimney, and you can see at the top of this thing, at the top of the chimney, it's really removed a lot of the old mortar from the bricks. If we can get in here a little bit closer on it, you'll find out what I'm talking about. And some of these bricks are removed down maybe an inch and a half to the inside. And what we're going to try to do is go back in there, of course, clean that out, prep it, and get ready to put some more mortar back in there, because eventually the bricks will, the bond will fail in the bricks, and of course the chimney would fall. So we want to prevent that. And this is a great example of an area where we really need to get up there and do some serious restoration.